Hello, in this video I'm going to talk about why successful people often have driving anxiety and why you're actually more likely to have a fear of driving if you are an intelligent and successful person. I'm going to tell you the three main reasons this happens, and I'll even give you a case study of somebody I worked with online to help them overcome the fear of driving. So let's get straight into this with these three main reasons that successful people have driving anxiety. The first main reason is control. If you're a successful person, you're probably used to being in control, right? You run the business, you run the accounts, you hire people, you fire people. You're the one who makes all the big decisions. And the problem is that when you go out driving on the roads, you can't control people. You can't control what other people do on the roads, as you'll know. Some people are crazy. They'll drive like maniacs and you can't control them, and it can frustrate you. And I know because I am a control freak. If you don't know, I've worked for over 20 years as a driving instructor, which means I'm used to being in control. I run my own business. I'm the one who gives the instruction in lessons. I run my website, videos, whatever. I don't like not being in control. And if you're like me, you'll know that horrible feeling when people are not doing what they should, when people are not sticking to speed limits, when they're parking where they shouldn't, and it can wind you up because you're used to having control. And when you have no control, it just really gets to you. Well, if you've got that, there is very often a subconscious reason why, and that could be what you need to do. You need to simply understand that what I understood and how I sort of overcame this problem, as it were, is you gain control by not having control. You see, the more you seek to control things, the more those things control you. And I've already mentioned an example in this video. Where I am in the UK, you may know that the UK is one of the most strictly governed and watched countries in the world. There are speed limits everywhere and speed cameras everywhere. We've got more CCTV than any Western country, I believe. Everything is monitored, and don't do this, don't do this, don't do that, don't do that. It's so strict. You're not even allowed to think the wrong things now in the UK. You could be arrested at the time of making this video for thinking the wrong things. Yes, thought crimes are illegal at the time of making this video. Crimes are always illegal. The point is, the more you want to control things, the less control you have. Because just look at what happens to, for example, governments who want to control everyone. Control, strict. Are they popular? Are they successful? Or do they fall? Right, the more you seek to control things, the more they will control you. So that's the first tip, is if you've got this control thing like I had, and still have to some degree, but I've massively kind of loosened off on that, you need to understand you've got to lighten up, but it could be a subconscious reason as to why you've got that. You may need to use things like hypnosis. You can check out my courses to do this online. You may have some kind of block from your past that is a reason why you have this need for control. There is often something from your past that causes that. The second big reason people have this is isolation. How many times have I heard this? People who run businesses are saying, everyone comes to me for help, but when I need help, there's no one there. Same for me. I'm always giving people lifts and teaching them to drive, and yet, who drives me? No one, because I don't know anyone who can drive. Who helps me? When I've got a problem, who do I go to? Because I'm the therapist, so who's going to help me? It's a classic problem, isn't it? When you get to the top of your game, and it's so funny, using myself as an example. There was a time, what was I looked for? I went online and I searched for something about hypnosis and why it doesn't work. And my website came up number 1 in the results. Who's going to help me? I'm the one who sets all these standards and levels, so who's going to help me? And you'll know that feeling, right, if you're successful. Who helps you? Well, a lot of it can again be from subconscious stuff. You need to go and work out what that is. I can't tell you because it doesn't always work like that. But if you've got a problem, that can be the issue. Simply you need to understand that you need to allow the people in and help you, because you don't want to just isolate yourself. So there may be reasons why you don't let people in. As I mentioned before, I live alone, I'm single, always been single, never wanted to be married. There's a reason for that, which will be coming up in a big special video I'll make one day. The third reason, and probably the most common of all, that successful people have driving anxiety is sacrifice. You've probably sacrificed a lot to get to where you are, right? You've sacrificed happiness, holidays, vacations. You haven't done things. Friends have asked you out. You said, oh no, I'm too busy. Do you want to come out the weekend? No, I'm too busy. I've got to do this. Work, work, work. You've also maybe had to squash emotions because maybe you've had to make tough decisions at work. Maybe you've had 5 staff members and you've had to get rid of one of them, but they've all got families and mortgages, and you've got to make that tough decision of who do I fire. Those sacrifices have a tax. Not a tax as in people attacking you, a tax as in paying a tax, which we do a lot of here in the UK. We have very high taxes. But your success and your sacrifices are taxed by anxiety, because you see all the stress from building up your business, building up your life. Maybe you've done dodgy deals. Maybe you've been a bit cheeky, a bit naughty, done things you shouldn't have done to get where you are. It all adds up. It's like someone's keeping a ledger of all the things you've done, and you're taxed on all of that. It's like you've had success. This is the price you pay. Driving anxiety. So let me give you this case study of someone I worked with. And this person may be watching, probably not. I won't name them. It's someone I worked with years ago. They came to me. They were a very successful person. They lived in a beautiful part of the country, had a really nice house. And they had this thing where they said, look, when I go driving, I have panic attacks. And I did a few sessions with them, and I just couldn't work out what it was. And I said to someone I was learning from at the time, my mentor, I said, can you take this client on and just tell me what the problem was? And he did, and he fixed it in one session. And the one question he asked this client of mine that got him was, because this person was saying, I'm so successful, got this, got this, got this. And he asked him a question I want you to ask yourself now, and some of you may have a big emotion come out when I say this. Some of you might think, that's not it. It doesn't work for everyone, but here's a question that changed everything. Do you deserve your success? And this person had a huge outburst because they didn't think they deserved it. I'm not saying they didn't, but they thought they didn't. Why? I won't get into. I don't even know because I didn't work with them. This was in the session someone else did. But it can often take its toll. And if you're successful, you've probably identified at least one of the things in this video. You've probably had either isolation, sacrifice, control issues. You may have all of them. And just know that your driving anxiety, far from being a failure, is actually a sign of success. And here's the thing, when you fix your fear of driving, the other things won't get worse. Because this is something I feared, that if I do things in my life, and this is for another video, but if I do other things, will I lose my business? Will I lose my ability to do this and do this? And I realised that's stupid. I won't lose anything. I'll actually gain it. When you fix your fear of driving, you'll probably become a better person, as you were. You'll become more empathetic. You'll understand people better. Maybe you'll realise you've been a bit harsh on people. And you'll become a more rounded person, as you were. So, how do you do this? Check out my course, it's linked on the screen now and in the description. And if you do want to work with me one-to-one online from anywhere in the world, contact me through my website, firstdrive.com. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you again soon for more videos.